of the committee. And thank you very much. Your birthday privilege has ended. And may I recognize Loreto Amante of the third district of Laguna. Who else?
Mr. Chair, 30 seconds, Mr. Chair.
Rog Gutierrez from Albay. Yes, 30 seconds.
Yes, with the indulgence of Kong Gutierrez.
After
Yes,
Garin, it's Castro.
Secretary Laurel, I would just like to make a recommendation in securing the SPSIC issued by BPI. I think what you can do to mitigate the problems on smuggling or underutilization of the import permit is to only issue on a per importation. And the importation and the SPSIC should be dependent on the credit facility or the bank guarantee issued by the bank, equivalent to the amount of the imported rice, imported declaration, and the SPSIC. Kasi ang nangyayari dyan is hindi nyo na nahuhuli doon because if you see, as cited by Congressman Briones earlier, a company with a paid-up capital of 200,000 or 1 million has the volume equivalent to 6 billion or 5.9 billion, 4 billion. Pero kung doon pa lang sa pag-secure ng SPSIC, the amount declared in the importation permit should at least be equivalent to the credit facility or the bank guarantee issued by the bank. That will secure na hindi kayo malulusutan ng importer. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. That's a very good idea, sir. And we will incorporate it sa aming policies. Thank you.
Is the PCC still here? Sir, can you take a seat muna? I'll just make an before I recognize Congressman Castro. Jun, pwede ka na dyan. I may recognize Senator Tulfo. Sir, do you agree that rice in this country is virtually inelastic?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
And therefore, due to the lack of a regulator, it has impacted, based on our calculation, the lack of a regulator has impacted has resulted in welfare losses of 136 billion because of lack of regulation.
I believe so, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. That's enough. Okay, Congressman Castro.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Magandang umaga po, ay magandang tanghali, hapon na pala sa ating lahat. Kay Secretary, Mr. Chair, tatanong ko sana yung state of rice, local production and importation. Pero kanina nasagot na ni Secretary, Mr. Chair, sabi nga 78, we still relying to our local producer on rice. So 78% sa local, 22% doon sa importation. Pero ang missing question doon, ang tanong doon, kahit na ganito na supposedly ang local produce natin ay mas mumura dapat as compared dun sa local. Kasi kahapon nga, Mr. Chair, pinakita natin yung supply chain. Every step of the way talaga, maraming kumikita, to the detriment of our consumers, nagiging problema. Pero dito po, siguro ang general na tanong ko, 22% pala tayo sa importation. So, do we have a plan, ang DA, Mr. Chair, so that we can have a totally or not minimize pa yung 22% na self-sufficient sa rice?
Mr. Chair, definitely we have a plan. It's ongoing. Maraming iba-ibang alternatives to how to do it, but the first one we're doing is yung intensifying yung cropping calendar. So, to plant dalawa sa the dry season and one sa wet season. So 3 croppings ang hinahabol natin in irrigated areas. So that will increase. But a major issue talaga is irrigation. Almost 50% lang ng flatlands natin ang irrigated. We need to irrigate about minimum of 1.2 million hectares. If we irrigate the 1.2 million hectares, magagaranti ko sa inyo na makaka-export tayo ng bigas. But unfortunately, kulang ang irrigation.
Yes, dun po ako nag-ano kay Secretary Mr. Chair, very ano siya, no, straightforward siya dun sa. So ano po yung ginagawa natin dito sa irrigation? Kasi nung tinatanong naman natin yung NIA, sinasabi nila meron silang solar-powered irrigation, etc. So ano na po yung status nun? So dapat po ay with the DA, with the Secretary, may nagawa na po tayo kasi alam na natin yung problema.
Yes, Mr. Chair. Well, NIA promised, first of all, ang NIA ho hindi na sa DA, no? Nalipat na siya sa
Okay.
OP. But ang maganda pa rin ang koordinasyon namin. Ang target next year ni Admin Gillian is to irrigate 70,000 hectares. Sa BSWM naman ng DA, sana makuha namin sa BICAM yung request namin din for solar pipe irrigation and additional solar irrigation. Ang target namin is 55,000 hectares more irrigated land. So kung combine natin dalawa, for next year, ang combined target is 125,000 hectares. Ang additional ma-irrigated of 10 or 10% of kung ano pa yung kulang natin irrigate. So kung every year ganon, in 10 years, solve itong problema natin.
Mr. Chair, Ma'am France,
Okay.
in the
Mr.
line
Chair.
lang of irrigation, with your indulgence, okay lang ho ba? Oo. Mr. Secretary, kasi this cropped up nung discussion natin ng RTL. So of course, the premise of the rice tarification law is to prioritize the top rice-producing areas. Tama po ba ako?
Not necessarily, Mr. Chair. Kasi yung top rice-producing areas, magaling na yan kahit anong gawin mo eh. So
Yes.
kung lalagyan mo pa ng additional pera yan, baka yung increment na makukuha natin is 10%, 15%. Pero doon sa mga areas naman na 3 tons per hectare lang ang maproproduce nila, lagyan mo yung irrigation niya, magiging 8 yan. So times
Yes.
3 yung, so dapat doon tayo mag-invest.
Sige po, Secretary. Kasi, which leads me to my question. You have a roadmap also, di ba? Rice roadmap. Eh, natanong ko sa niya noon that time, sabi ko, yung do you follow the roadmap or the top rice producing areas of DA? Ang sagot sa akin is no. So mukhang may sarili silang direksyon, ang NIA, in terms of irrigation.
Yes, they have their own direction. We have our own direction. Pero actually coordinated kami.
Para,
Weekly kami, ang maganda dyan sa tandem namin ni Admin Gillian now, is we actually meet every week, every
yes,
Wednesday.
because,
May
well,
convergence
that's
kami.
good to hear kasi parang yung previous, hindi ganun eh.
Hindi ganun.
Yung sagot ninyo, Secretary, hindi kayo nagkakatugma, hindi nagtutugma yung agency with NIA. May sariling mundo si NIA rin before eh.
Yes, yes.
So, again, which raises the question of food security. Bali wala, yung plano ninyo, yung mga programa ninyo, again, without the basic necessity of irrigation. So I hope mapagpatuloy naman na in line po kayo dun sa inyong direksyon.
So far, so good naman, Mr. Chair.
Sige, we will look out for that also, Secretary, later on. Thank you, Kong France. Thank you.
Okay, to continue, Mr. Chair, so yung irrigation, we have to improve. Ito yung pangalawa, yung mga kadiwa. Pero I beg to disagree po no na itong kadiwa ay nakatulong ito sa consumer natin. In fact, minimal lang po itong naitutulong nito. Saan po kinukuha, Mr. Chair, yung nilalagay natin sa kadiwa? Anong pondo po?
Yung sa kadiwa naman, to comment first on your opinion, sa ngayon talaga maliit ang tulong, I have to admit. No? Dahil 41 pa lang ang real kadiwa natin ngayon. But of course, we are targeting, ang target talaga natin dyan is 1,500 stores or more. Sa scale na 1,500, tingin ko makakatulong na yun. Kasi may economies of scale, then we can, marami tayong paraan. Ito naman sa bigas natin ngayon sa P29, 100% niyan nanggagaling sa NFA.
Okay.
Yung kanilang
Supply. Yung
aging stocks.
Aging.
Tapos yung sa Rice for All now, meron din tayong galing sa local producer like NIA, yung mga NIA contract farming meron diyan. Meron din diyan imported at meron din may NFA, wala pang NFA. No? Wala pang NFA. So,
Okay. So, Mr. Chair, kasi sa mga selected areas lang po yung Kadiwa na 41. So, para po mabawasan siguro yung logistics, available kasi yung ating mga market. Kung maalala niyo, Mr. Chair, Mr. Secretary, before nangyari yung lahat ng ito, before the RTL, available lagi yung 29 pesos sa mga palengke. No? So, ang mga consumers, minsan nga may nakikita ako sa mga palengke, hindi na nabibili mga 29 pesos dahil nandoon na siya parate, nakakabili ang mga mahihirap noong rice. So, gusto sana natin, Mr. Secretary, Mr. Chair, itong mga pinagbabagsakan natin ng mga sinasabi nating murang bigas ay dapat nasa palengke. So hindi na tayo mag-create pa ng pupunta ka sa DA, pupunta ka sa amin, sa Valenzuela, meron sa disiplina, yung mga ganun po. So ilagay na talaga yan sa market so that yung logistic, yung lugar, doon na kasi namimili ang ating consumers.
I honestly, I'll be very honest, Mr. Chair, that was my mistake. Noong unang pinabas yung Kadiwa, I purposely did not want to enter the palengkes because I did not want to destroy the trading pattern o yung negosyo nila. Kasi maapektuhan sila pag pinasukan ng gobyerno eh. But unfortunately nga, nag-usap kami ng mga major retailers, hindi sila sumunod. Kaya medyo talagang ngayon ang direksyon ng DA ngayon at ang Kadiwa, lahat ng palengke papasukan na. Thank you.
So, thank you, Mr. Secretary. Number 3, nakita natin, kumbaga sa retailer. So, siguro, Mr. Chair, para mas magiging objective tayo, ma-invite din natin yung mga retailers. Kasi kahapon, ang mga importers, sinasabi nila ang nagpo-profiteering ay yung sa bahagi na ng retailer, which I do not agree. Kasi kung ikukumpara natin naman sa volume, yung mga retailer ko, konti lang yan. Doon po sa retailer, doon po sa prices, Mr. Chair, sinuggest natin kanina with some of our colleagues na dapat magkaroon ng price cap o kaya magkaroon tayo ng suggested retail price. So, ang DA po, Mr. Chair, in charge siya sa mga agriculture products. Tama po?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Oo, kasi ang DTI, yung mga manufactured na mga products. So, kasi kung nandoon po yung rice natin sa mga palengke, ma-monitor din natin kung talagang may nagtataas ng presyo doon sa mga retail. But for sure, hindi sa level nila yung napakalaki ang kita, Mr. Chair. Pero imbestigahan pa rin po natin yon. So, yun po, Mr. Chair, yung tatanong ko po kay Secretary. Okay, doon po sa PCC, Mr. Chair, sa PCC po, kanina po sa inyong diagram, meron po kayong in-emphasize. Asan po ang PCC? Ito si Sir. Secretariat, Comsec, pwede pong maibalik doon sa diagram ng PCC. Kasi nilagyan po sabi ng PCC kanina, Mr. Chair, so meron tayong problema doon sa binax nila na kulay blue or kulay yellow po yata, doon sa wholesale, importer wholesale down to the retailer. So sinasabi natin para makita po natin talaga kung merong nagmo-monopolize o merong lumalabag sa competition law. So,
In the meantime, I recognize Congresswoman Brosas. Wala, you were covered by Congressman Prasto.
So can you elaborate on that po para maintindihan naman po ng ating mga taong bayan?
With the permission of the body, I think we had an agreement with the secretary. He has been here since 8, So, by the leave of the body, he has very important matters to attend to.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, you want him to
yeah,
contempt?
I have just one question sana kay Secretary because I think Yusek Ases cannot answer. He's not in a position to answer this query, Mr. Chairman.
Basta ito lang.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman. In
With the
relation,
permission of Castro.
in relation to customs, Mr. Chairman.
Chair, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. In the indulgence of Congresswoman Castro. Yesterday, Mr. Chairman, I asked customs, no, with regards to smuggling. And they committed, well, in fact, I thought all the while that this morning, kasama po sa executive session yung customs. But yesterday, they committed, Mr. Secretary, to give us in public, in this hearing, all the list of smugglers, rice smugglers. And they have the list. Now, in your end, Mr. Chairman, addressed to Secretary Laurel, do you have also the list?
Chairman would like to say that we have the list, but we have employed 1,300 accountants and
So we cannot divulge it in public, Mr. Chairman?
we want to make sure that they are properly verified and validated.
So the same is true with the customs. We cannot divulge it, though they have committed to us yesterday.
If they so desire, but as far as DA is concerned, I think it is wise for this committee.
Okay, I will not ask, Mr. Chairman, I will not ask Secretary Laurel with regards to revealing the names, name or names.
Ang dami nun.
But,
Baka
sandali po,
maubos
Mr. Chairman, can I
natin.
finish first, Mr. Chairman?
Yes, please.
Now, what are steps and legal action though DA is working on it?
Well, depende, no? Mr. Chair, meron tayo manahuli na onion smugglers, fish smugglers na ididemanda na namin eh.
Sa rice po.
Sa rice, nahuli namin sila, pero wala kaming, at the end of the day, binayaran lang yung tax eh.
Okay, so Mr. Chairman, kasi ako kanina, I was at the back, but I have heard that the good secretary
Ba siya kanina?
divulged the one involved in mackerel smuggling.
Rice smuggling, Mr. Chair, yun.
Yung kay, yeah,
Nikki,
you mentioned names, di ba? Mention the name of
Hindi
the,
ko na-mention kanina sa loob yun.
no, dito.
No, I did not mention. Si Kong Mickey nag-mention.
So, Kong Mickey mentioned it, and you confirm it,
The company, yes.
the company.
Yes.
So can you, Mr. Chairman, if you mention the company of the allegedly mackerel smuggler, why we can't in public?
We will give you, Your Honor. First,
So Mr. Chairman, ganito lang po. The customs, the company that was mentioned with regards to mackerel is also in your list.
Yes, Mr. Chair. In fact, we mentioned already the names of the incorporators of the company yesterday.
How about the rice smugglers that you committed to this committee yesterday? Do you have a copy of it?
We have, I have here, Your Honor, our legal and intelligence group. They have details of the smugglers where we filed cases against. And if you so desire, we can provide you with the names.
may I ask the
name of the
COMSEC to
companies.
please, COMSEC, please secure.
Ano yan? Ano, customs, yung mga list nyo, ano yan? 2020, anong year?
1998. No
The
joke.
same is true. Mr. Chairman, the same is true with PCC. Worse is the PCC. Until now, case build up pa lang siya for the past 8 years.
2020 to present, Your Honor.
22 up to the present. So, year 2024, there are still smugglers.
We apprehended a warehouse, Your Honor, and they weren't able to produce any valid document or customs payment. So
So, warehouses, not shipments.
they're full of shipments of rice, Your Honor, worth around 331 billion for this
Support.
year. Sa
Support pa lang. O sa warehouse.
sa
na.
warehouse na po.
O, may problema kayo. Support. Wala support.
We're backtracking the investigation, Your Honor, to identify if
Ano kasi, Mr. Chairman,
which
anyway,
port it entered into.
Mr. Chairman, kasi, just to, Secretary, kasi you're telling this committee that the figures being given by customs and your agency is the same. But on record, Mr. Chairman, it's not the same. I have here the record of the customs and records coming from the, well, in fact, even accredited importers. The record of customs shows only 188, while in your record of the BPI is 199. So, and it's not the same, Mr. Chairman. Kaya Mr. Chair, better check. And that includes also yesterday we discussed about the process of accreditation. You're not here, but you have to check with your... Kasi, bakit ko pinopoint out yan, Mr. Secretary? Because it happens also during the onion investigation. And now it's still happening now with regards to rice. And I do believe it's also happening with very, not parochial, no? But with my concern with regards to sugar. Kaya ako, Secretary, unsolicited advice, you better check your people,
Mr.
especially
Chair?
those involved in the accreditation of importation.
Yeah. Mr. Chair, ang binanggit ko kayo ng data na align na kami with customs is the actual import data na dumating.
Hindi rin eh.
Yeah, sa ngayon, okay, pareho ang data namin.
Hindi nga, ito, Mr. Secretary, I have a
I
copy.
don't have a copy of that.
I have a copy of the customs. O particularly, for example, ito lang, kahapon diniscuss ko na to. Now, ito ngayon hawak-hawak ko, yung BLY. Yung BLY, sa inyo po is 306,159.04. Ay dito sa customs po is only 248. Oh, hindi po pareho. Well, in fact, record of customs is only 4.2. And your record, you mentioned is about 4.5.
Depende ho yan kung anong petsa ho yung...
No. This is now December. Kasi kahapon, hindi magkaiba, malayo, because that was the record of customs submitted to this committee is only January to October. And they complied with the documents. And your office to the BPI also complied yesterday. And I have now a copy of from January to December. And sabi ko nga, Mr. Secretary, please check your data, your people. Kasi po, this is an investigation and we want to go deeper on this. And sabi ko na nga kanina during the executive session, as I've told you, I join you na dapat balik sa inyo po yung question of regulatory and yung powers to doon sa DA. Kasi po ngayon, tingnan mo, nagtuturuan ngayon. Well, in fact, sabi ko nga, yung data is does not jive.
Okay.
Yesterday,
I'll request, Mr. Chair, a copy of your data and I will study it and see.
andyan sa COMSEC. Kasi hindi ko naman ito mahawakan.
I would like to insist, Mr. Chair, na yung import data, actually yung import data na ginagamit ko is the customs eh. Tama yung kanila. Delayed ang BPI lang, but at the end of the day, nagtatali sila ngayon eh. Oo.
Hindi, Mr. Chairman, kaya kung sinasabi mo pong delay, mas malaki nga po dito yung sa inyo eh. 306 yung BLY lang. Dito sa customs is only 248.
I'm not sure kung ano yung data na binabanggit niyo, Mr. Chair.
No, this is an official data coming from both
Meaning I haven't
Mr.
seen it.
Secretary.
I will review, Mr. Chair.
Yeah. Now, lastly, Mr. Chairman, I just want to take this opportunity nandito po, Secretary. Kasi kahapon, Mr. Secretary, it was already established that some, and I do believe, that's why, Mr. Chairman, again, I just want to remind the BPI and Customs doon po sa documents that was requested yesterday for the period of 2019 to 2023, all importation and all accredited importers. Kasi po, why, Mr. Secretary? Because yesterday we have just established and it was admitted and confirmed by the representative of a certain Stewart Santiago who owns two companies being accredited by your agency. And kung titingnan mo, maliit lang po. Smaller than some they just at number 13 and number 16, if my memory serves me right, no? Kasi dito ngayon is only top 10. Pero kung sumahin mo yon, it's around 150 plus thousand metric tons. Kaya naluloko. Ito, dalawa pa lang. What about yung iba pa?
Mr. Chair, marami pa yan.
Kaya nga eh. Kaya nga, Secretary, kaya nga, yung question of due diligence with regards to your agency, in this particular case, the BPI, dapat po ayusin natin to.
But Mr. Chair, wala kaming power to deny nor not accept an
Oh,
application.
No, but you can check. Kung may common po,
We have the data, but Mr. Chair, but we cannot stop them from doing anything except when we like hindi ko dapat sinabi. Na isang kumpanya na na-blacklist na, well, na-announce na pala na yung LVM Grains na nahuli namin. Na-blacklist na namin yung kumpanya. So hindi na makakakuha ngayon yan ng SPSIC.
yeah, but Mr. Chairman, I still argue with the good secretary because, for example, sinabi ng kanya ni secretary ni Congressman Briones with regards to stock capital. Napakaliit po.
Sa ganun situation, Mr. Chair, I agree with you na
Kaya
ayusin namin to.
kaya we have to do something about it.
Definitely. we
Kasi
will do
ako
something
tingin
about
ko, hindi lang isa, dalawa, tatlo. Maybe 10 is being controlled by one important alone. And he's using
it. That is
a lot
possible,
of,
Mr. Chair.
a lot of permits.
Ayusin namin yan, Mr.
Ito pa
Chair.
pong isa. Again, last na lang talaga to. Ito pa isa. Apprehension been made by government agencies. Diba? Walang permits. And suddenly there is a permit. Mamaya i-check ko po yung process of releasing such permit. With the BPI, I hope Yusek Perez will stay. And the customs. Kasi ang dami po eh. Mahuli. Walang permit. Suddenly may dokumentong lalabas. Eh, saan yung problema? Dito ba sa DA o sa customs? Di ba? Nahuli, walang papeles, then suddenly after 2 days, may papel na.
As far as sa panahon ko, wala akong nakikitang ganyan.
Pero yung March secretary, yung March na case, etong March, yung shipment,
Yung shipment, sir, kasi
I know that case
maraming
At
SPSIC na na-issue talaga.
yun na nga eh.
Oo.
Yun na nga yung gusto kong ayusin natin.
Ayun nga, ayusin
Kasi
natin bakit
yung
sa-
question of releasing and flow of that permits.
Ang problema, ang pinag-uusapan lang namin, Mr. Che, na problema ngayon is if we impose additional rules sa SPSIC, we are going against AO20 naman. And WTO. So,
I'm not telling about the quota. Kasi
No.
kapon is not the quota, but the process flow of releasing such. Kasi nag-import ang isang importer, wala nang papeles, sinuli, then suddenly lumabas. O may problema, di ba?
Hindi, wala namang, hindi, yung lumabas na yon, na-issue na yon, hindi bagong issue yun.
Hindi nga but the importer has no document during the time.
No, meron siya, nakatago.
Hindi nga why? Why nakatago?
Kasi as I said, Mr. Chair, and with the system with the law states that anybody can apply
Hindi,
for
Mr.
SPSIC.
Secretary, I'm telling about a case in which na-apprehend without proper document, after 2 days, mayroon na. Then,
yeah.
may permit na siya.
Hindi, may permit na siya bago pa sinip yung...
Whatever, that's why, akong sinasabi ko nga is, yung process flow of releasing such permit. Kasi supposedly, pag import mo,
Okay.
di ba, bago dumating sa port, may papeles ka na, di ba? But why wala? Then suddenly, after a few days, mayroon na.
Hindi, ang nangyari nun, Mr. Chair, I agree with you yung process flow ayusin, no? Pero ang actual nangyari nun, kumpleto na siya ng SPIC, ng 5 SPSIC for 5,000 tons of rice. Pero pagdating ng barko, mukhang para makalusot siya, linabas lang niya yung dalawa. Yung tatlo tinago niya.
Correct. Why? Kasi ang declaration niya, yun lang. Di ba?
Yes.
Kaya lang nahuli.
Yes.
Yun yung sinasabi ko. Nga dapat, ako personally ako, kung declaration is that, di ba? Kasi example, dalawang permit lang. Eh, dapat ang pag-release natin is, kung magkano lang yung request mo for importation, yun lang muna. Para wala makalusot.
Mr. Chair, sorry, paikot lang ako, magkamali ako ng magsabi. Actually, naayos na namin yan. Hindi na nangyayari ngayon yan. Ang rules ng BPI ngayon na inayos namin is 24 hours after sail out ng barko, they have to present the SPIC for the arriving cargo. At kung dumating within 24 hours by email to 3 of our offices. Pagdating ng barko dito, hindi nila pwedeng dagdagan na. Yun na yun.
So, nakatimbre na rin sa customs.
Since June.
Pero, Secretary,
Yes.
ganon din yung dapat sundin at proseso ng customs.
Yes, alam nila. Yes.
Customs, do you confirm?
Yes, Mr. Chair. In fact, Mr. Chair, lahat naman ho ng shipments ng bigas, pag nag-i-examine kami, may kasama pong field officer ng BPI.
As far as bigas is concerned, that problem is non-existent anymore. And that's why nakikita natin yung import permit na dineclare sa customs is more or less accurate na, Mr. Chair.
Ayop, ayun na yung process natin, Secretary.
Dadagdagan pa natin
I just
na-
talked to may kausap ako, Mr. Secretary, but in confidence, sasabihin ko yan sa iyo.
I'm sure baka may nakakalusot
The one
pa,
I
Mr.
mentioned
Chair.
about the March case,
Oo.
yung shipment,
Oo.
alam mo
Sige,
yung nangyari doon.
Yes, yes, Mr. Chair. At maybe I'll come back na lang to your office.
Anyway, Mr. Chairman, for now, that's all muna.
Mr. Chairman, just a short, because I want to take advantage of the presence of the good secretary. Just one question lang. Mr. Secretary, nabanggit nyo kasi kanina na tungkol dun sa irrigation. If you are given the funds to irrigate 1.2 million hectares of rice field, then we will be exporting rice. Is that correct?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
So, yun lang tanong ko. The reason why I want to emphasize that because I want to wish the good secretary well. He has a good plan for the department. That's why I think we should support, the Quad should support him, Mr. Chair.
Yeah,
Okay,
Mr. Chair, very short. Just one. Just one, Mr. Chair.
Okay, Emano.
Yeah. Mr. Secretary, following the question of Kong Barbers, that's, you need how much for 1.2 million hectares?
Mr. Chair, 1.2 trillion pesos.
1.2 trillion pesos, Mr. Chair. May I know if you really are serious in improving the rice efficiency, because we've been discussing since this morning from importation to smuggling, and nobody seems to discuss on how we are able to improve local production. So the question is this, Mr. Secretary, for 2025, how much is the budget of NEA for irrigation?
From what I remember, it is 42 billion only.
For
42.
42 billion only.
approved by
Yan nasa NEP nila, but I
Nasa
think
NEP.
they are going for 90 billion sa BICAM.
na,
That's what I hear.
90.
Yeah.
How much did you request from DBM?
It's not under him.
At that time na nag-request kami sa DBM, at that time it was still under me. We requested for 125 billion.
But you need, for 1.2 trillion, you need around 300 million per year. Diba? 3, 6, 9, 12 for the last 4 years of the of President BBM.
300 billion, sir.
Yeah, 300 billion. And how much did you request from DBM during the time?
Yung initial request namin was 250 billion. But then they asked us to water it down. Naging 125. Kasi yung parang yung absorptive capacity namin, parang if we can do
Absorptive capacity
125,
of DA or absorptive capacity of NEA?
NEA.
That's what I'm trying to say, Mr. Chair, that if we're really serious in helping our local producers, domestic market and producers, we should increase the budget from proposal pa lang, and it should be explained properly, Mr. Chair. That's all, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair.
Short lang, Biron, ha?
Yes.
Kasi,
Yes, 30 seconds, Mr. Chair. Concerning the issue raised by Congressman Paduano with respect to the discrepancy between what is declared in the SPSIC and the customs, there is a legal remedy for that particular concern. ASCOM, Maranilla. So, assuming na hindi makatugma yung record ninyo at saka record ng DA, on the volume of the rice imported, meron namang remedy niyan eh. You do post-importation audit, and you can always run after importers for their tax deficiency. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor, but I think the non-tally of the figures only relates to the volume in the SPSIC versus the actual volume. But when we reconcile with DA on the actual volume, I think it matches. Ang nangyayari po kasi, pag nag-apply po yung importer ng volume sa SPSIC niya, minsan po, pag dumating, hindi naman ganun talaga yung volume na dumarating, mas konti po. Sa amin po, actual
That's why
volume.
kanina, to mitigate smuggling, ano siya, importation specific at based only on the bank guarantee or the credit facility for that particular importation para walang underutilization ng SPSIC. That is the remedy.
That's a good solution,
Yes,
Mr.
okay.
Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
thank you.
Mr. Chair.
May I recognize Senator Tulfo.
With the indulgence of Congresswoman Franz Castro, Mr.
Come on.
Chair, may I direct my question to the Secretary of the Agriculture? Mr. Secretary, I think last month, or a couple of months ago, you issued a statement that rice will go down to 29.30 by January. Sir, tanong po mga kabayan natin, bakit po January pa? I mean, bakit hindi ngayon, hindi bukas? Kahapon po, in-interview ako ng media. Tinatanong, may magagawa ba itong committee na ito para mapababa ang presyo o puro lang kayo kwento, puro lang kayo forma sa Quintacom? Now, I want answers. Why? Why next year, Mr. Secretary? Why?
The actual statement was bababa ng 5 piso, predicted ko by January of next year from kung ano man yung presyo when I said it. The main point is, as I've said kanina, Mr. Chair, imported rice is only 22% of what is the supply, no, or the consumption. 78% is still local rice. The main problem is ang bigas na binibenta natin as of now dito sa merkado is based on a palay price na binili at 27.45 pesos per kilo, which translates to 48.57 pesos per kilo sa merkado yan. 250 pesos. Yan yung problema. Mataas ang bili ng stakeholders, from traders to rice mills, sa farmers for this year. Kaya magtanong kayo sa kahit saan sulok ng Pilipinas, lahat ng rice farmer masaya ngayon. Yan ang main issue. But next year nga, even NFA, lumaban tayo, Mr. Chair, up to 30 pesos per kilo para lang makakuha tayo ng buffer stocks. Sa ngayon, binababa na namin by next week ang ngayon nasa 25, next week bababa na namin ang buying price ng palay to 23. Sa 23 pesos per kilo, then we start in January buying at 23 pesos per kilo. Kung sumunod ng mga trader, that will translate to 42 to 43 pesos in January,
In retail
February,
prices.
March. Yeah, huh?
In retail prices.
In retail prices, Mr. Chair.
Pero Mr. Secretary, I beg to disagree na 22% lang po. Ang dami pong in-issue na import permit ng Bureau of Plant Industry. And I guess the customs can tell us kung ilang libong tonelada ang pumasok sa ating bansa. And yet you're just saying 22% lang po ang konsumo. Ano ho nangyari doon sa mga in-inspection po, yung mga nakatalagak na mga bigas sa bodega sa Bulacan, sa pier na lamang, sa mga demorahe po nila? Whatever happened to that? You don't count that, Mr. Secretary, na import na can be fed to the Filipinos and the Filipinos can buy cheaper rice?
Yung importation natin, we will end up, as of yesterday, 4.5 million tons na ang na-import. But ang consumption natin ng rice actually per month is 320,000 tons of imported rice per month. So yung nakikita mong excess, yung balance na ilan yun? 3 point. So there's 700,000 tons na excess importation as of yesterday, no? That's the buffer stock. Basically, that's only 2 months stock of imported rice.
Mr. Secretary, Mr. Chair, I have one last question. Mr. Secretary, since you're the Secretary of the Department of Agriculture, may magagawa ka ba? May magagawa ba ang ahensya mo para mapababa itong presyo? I mean, I'm not, you're not God. Pero ang tanong ko, as a Secretary, is kalihim. You should be, nasa forefront kayo na maghanap na solusyon, mapababa ang bigas. Problema natin ang bigas. And this is one of the reasons why yung ating pong mga presyo ng bilihin, yung inflation mataas because of that. Parang wala pong, hindi mo nararamdaman ng mga tao eh. Parang sanay na sa 50 something, 55 ang bigas. May paraan pa ba? Or can you suggest to the President mga suggested retail price? Kasi po, talaga hindi po kakayanin. Magpapasko. Baka pwede pamasko ninyo sa mga kababayan natin ang murang bigas. Pwede po ba yun? Bawat palengke, hindi lang po yung piling kadiwa. Kasi yung kadiwa, 11 kadiwa lang yata sa buong bansa eh. Unless if you're talking kung pwede lagyan lahat ng palengke ng kadiwa, mas maganda siguro. Or, suggestion ko po, bigyan po ninyo yung mga rice retailers natin ng mga kadiwa authorized retailer ng mga bigas, kagaya ng NFA rice retailers dati. Bakit hindi ninyo mabigyan ngayon? Kaya nga po tanong natin, meron po ba, makakatikim ba tayo ngayon ng mababang bigas ngayong December, or 50 hanggang 60 pesos pa rin ang kilo ang mabibili natin sa merkado ngayong Pasko?
As of the moment, Mr. Chair, meron na tayong 48 stores na nagbebenta ng 40 peso rice. Ang target namin by mid-January, by end of this year, in the next few weeks, 170 na yung target natin. By mid-January, 300 outlets na ang target natin sa loob mismo ng palengke. Sa major public markets, not private markets. We cannot enter private markets, by the way. We can only enter public markets. So that is one way. And the price we will be selling it is at 40 pesos. And kung kaya na, we are targeting pa to lower that to 38, 39 pesos by January. So malaki-laki na rin ang coverage doon. Kung sa tanong naman, Senator Tulfo, na kung may magagawa, kaya namin ibagsak yan. Kailangan, problema lang, Mr. Chair, as I requested a while ago, we need the Congress's help to bring back the powers of NFA sa DA. Sa NFA, yung dating lakas niya, o kanyang mandato para mapababa. Sa ngayon kasi, wala kaming, ang primary mission na lang ng DA, because tinanggalan ng powers ng NFA, is to produce more and make the farmers profitable. Wala na kaming power nor mission to stabilize prices, because NFA, which was the main role of the NFA for rice and corn. Ngayon, ang NFA is only for buffer stocking. We cannot even sell our rice to the LGUs or to our own kadiwa at a reasonable price. Walang ganon. Tago lang at pwede lang ibenta tong, as of the moment, I'm happy to report that in the last 10 years, hindi pa nangyayari ito at nangyayari sa panahon na to, na ngayon meron tayong almost 6 million bags of rice na buffer stock. Yung rice na yun, kung may power ng NFA, pwede namin ibenta yun ng 29 peso, 30 peso, 39 peso. But we cannot.
Mr. Chair, makasingit lamang. Hindi po ba po pwedeng executive order lang na Pangulo to do that? To give instruction habang nag-aantay tayo ng batas? Kasi kaantay natin ng batas, baka patay na po tayong lahat. Kare-review lang po ng RTL. Siguro, Mr. Chair, can we recommend to the President to do an executive order para i-release yung 6 billion? Did you say 6 billion, Mr.
6 million
bags of rice? Marami yung magpapalakpakan na Pilipino, Mr. Chair. Can we do this, Mr. Chair, through this committee?
Can your lawyer study something that has not been repealed? EO 184 of 1948, RA 509. This has not been repealed, which gives you regulatory powers with respect to rice.
I will study, Mr. Chair.
To advise the government of the proper coordination activities in case of emergency, advise the President of necessity of ceasing, commanding, and operating in all other warehouses. In short, it is the powers of the NFA. It was not specifically repealed by both RTLs. So there is Republic EO 184, series of 1948, and RA 509. So yes, sir, we will try. That's
Yes.
why we have this committee.
Yes, Mr. Chair, ang napapansin ko lang po, ang dami po natin mga batas na inutil. Ito pa yung all the regulation law na ewan ko kung sino nagpasa ng mga mambabatas, kung buhay pa yung mga yan, wala namang silbi. Ngayon itong rice RTL na ito, rice tarification law, wala ring silbi para mapababa, para may competition, parehong-pareho, duplicate ng all the regulation law. Hindi po napapakinabangan, useless, ang nakikinabang mga oil companies ngayon, ito mga importers are making money out of these laws. I don't know ano nangyari sa mga ninuno natin dito sa Kongreso. Bakit nila naipasaya? Anyway, thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Thank you very much, Congresswoman.
I'm really sorry I have to let the secretary go. And Franz, can you direct your question to some of the other DA? Si secretary lang po pinapaalis.
Yes, Mr. Chair, kanina pa ninyo pinapakawalan si Secretary, medyo na ano lang. Okay, siguro Mr. Chair, kung kasi parang maraming tanong no kay Secretary. Next time talagang mag full time dito no si Secretary.
Next week,
Oo.
Wednesday,
Mr. Chair.
Tuesday, Wednesday ulit tayo.
Kasi para mas direct talaga yung tanong at siya talaga yung accountable dun sa
So
sasabihin
next
niya.
week na rin, ibitahan namin po yung mga retailers.
Oh yes. Yun po nga po Mr. Chair. Yung retailers, yung local producers, no? Kasi importers yung kahapon eh. Yung local producers, pinapaimbita ko rin Mr. Chair yung Bantay Bigas saka yung KMP kasi sila yung sa mga local producers. Okay, last na Mr. Chair no dito
Thank you.
and I would like to manifest for second round mamaya.
Please.
Okay, dito na lang po sa PCC, doon po sa diagram nila, Mr. Chair, yung rice supply chain pre-RTL, makikita natin simple lang. Pero nung nagkaroon na tayo ng RTL, meron silang nilagay dito na parang flag o red flag. So trade millers, importers, wholesalers, so retails. So can you elaborate on this PCC kung anong ibig sabihin nito at nagkakaroon ba ng problema tayo sa competition law or monopoly, whatever po?
Good afternoon, Chair, honorable members of this committee. So this chart just shows us, this was in response to the request of the Honorable Janet Garin to show where are the possible choke points or competition concerns. So in this chart, we can see the different players and supply in the supply chain. So you have farmers, trader millers, wholesalers, importers, retailers, and ultimately the consumers. So what this chart is saying is that if there is a player that has one or more involvement in the supply chain, there is a likelihood that there is a anti-competitive conduct there. For example, in the red chart, you have an importer who is also a wholesaler. Okay. And then the yellow chart, an importer, a wholesaler, and a retailer. So yes, three. In the other box, the blue box, a trader miller, which is also an importer and a wholesaler. So it's in effect he has four. And the worst kind is if it's totally vertically integrated. So from the top, he is a trader miller, he is an importer, he is a wholesaler, and he is also a retailer. So that's I think is the part wherein anti-competitive conduct is very, very probable.
Yes, thank you sa explanation, Mr. Chair. Actually, yun po yung sinabi natin kahapon na starting from the importers to the wholesaler, may mga ano din mga dealers din doon in between, no? Importers and wholesaler. Sinabi rin naman ng ating importer kahapon. And then in between yung wholesalers tsaka yung mga trader, meron na naman din mga dealers doon. Hanggang sa makapunta sa retailers, meron na naman mga dealers. And yung consumer, yung consumption, nagko-consume, so yung mga consumers. So doon tumaas yung bilihin ng rice mula doon sa mula doon sa importers. So how could we prevent kaya yung ganito? Could you suggest po kung paano? Kasi in between talagang merong lalong-lalo na kapag sabi nyo, di ba, sabi natin mula sa importers, tapos sila pa rin yung hanggang sa retailers.
Yes.
So paano natin ito maiwasan?
Yes,
at
Your
hindi
Honor.
at bumaba yung presyo ng rice.
Yes, Your Honor. Previously, the NFA had the power to license, record, and keep data of all players in the grains industry. So all traders, millers, importers, wholesalers, retailers must be licensed before the NFA. They must submit their inventories, their prices, but that is not present right now. So that's one of the problem for us is we have no consistent, readily available data to pinpoint which among this is a problem. So we have to go to BOC for importation, for DTI and DA for other parts like wholesalers, like that.
Mr. Chair, yun ang magandang information nung PCC, no? Para hindi natin nakikitang nagsisisihan. Importers, sinisisi yung mga retailers, and down. Kaya talagang maibalik talaga yung function ng NFA. At yung sinasabi naman ni Secretary na, Mr. Chair, na tuwan-tuwa na yung farmers dahil 23 per kilo, baka doon lang sa mga NFA sold na mga palay. Pero meron kasing mga traders and millers na Mr. Chair, doon talaga nagkakaroon ng panggigipit sa ating mga farmers. Na lalong-lalo na kung panahon na ng panahon ng de peligro na talagang babaratin ang mga farmers. Walang fix na katulad ng ginagawa ng NFA. Kaya kung meron lang regulation, halimbawa Mr. Chair, na si traders, hindi mo pwedeng baratin sa 23. Kung meron lang talagang standard at fix na sinasabi ng DA na dapat 23 per kilo yan, hindi nyo na pwedeng tawaran yan sa farmers. So matutuwa tayo doon. Kasi yung sinasabi kasi ni Secretary Mr. Chair na tuwan-tuwa na doon siguro sa NFA, na which is konti lang yan. Pero mas maraming namimili doon sa labas, yung traders na talagang bumabarat doon sa ating mga farmers. So, yun lang po, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Now we, Kokoyap is not